Hey Libra, it's Romy here. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune into my channel if you're new or returning. This is your June monthly tarot reading. So if you have a Libra sun, rising or moon sign, it is a general reading but it might resonate for you. If you enjoy the work, please do make sure you're subscribed and drop me a like and a comment. If you want to join me for the extended version of the reading, you can find a link for that in the description box underneath the video, or you can go directly to my website, romywyser.com. Libra, let's go ahead and see what June has in store. Hey Libra, let's take a look and see what June has in store. So astrologically, we're going to have 6 planets retrograde this month. Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter and Venus are already, and then on the 18th of June, Mercury moving retrograde in Cancer, and on the 23rd, Neptune retrograde in Pisces. We also have 2 eclipses taking place. The first one on June 5th, a Sagittarius lunar eclipse in your 3rd house, and then we have a solar eclipse and also the solstice taking place on the 21st of June. So we open up your reading. 2 of Pentacles. Now we're in Gemini energy right now, Libra, a fellow air sign, so you're going to be a little bit more at home with the kind of vibe that's around you at the moment. For Libra rising particularly, this is 9th house. And really this is about you starting to see the direction with which things are heading in your life, okay? So even though we have this haze around all of these retrograde energies, what I see is that there are moments, there are glimpses, and even, for some that might be coming strongly through those intuitive nudges about where you're heading next, what comes from this recent experience. 9th house is all about our search for meaning and purpose and really what's pulling us forward. It's how we view life. It's how we look at the journey of life. And it's the journey that our mind is taking as well. Remember, in Gemini energy, we're thinking about new ideas. We're trying to set the tone and the agenda for the future. Gemini in the North Node is really giving us that destiny point at the moment. So 2 of Pentacles is showing you weighing things up, having choices and decisions to make, balancing things in your heart and in your mind. You may well have been in a situation where, okay, fiscally, financially, you've had to juggle an awful lot of energy of recent times, but I also just see you coming to a firmer place of understanding now about how to make things work moving forward. And for many of you, I think that's going to result in you realizing that there are some plates that you're going to have to let drop. There are things that you're going to have to let go of through the next few weeks, Libra, if you want to make space for the things that are now very clearly being lit up for you. 9th and 10th house as we move into Cancer season gives you a strong and firm focus around your work, your career, and how you want to move through the world. So we are going to be looking to those kind of themes. Now, Knight of Cups coming through, of course, with Venus retrograde right now, we do have this emphasis around relationships. You may well have people coming back from the past. You may well be bumping up against old memories, old energies, old situations. But it also brings in a beautiful air of creativity and you kind of being able to be almost in that sort of energy of musing, Retrogrades are beautiful for that. They help us to daydream. They help us to connect into that lovely meditative state. And actually they can be incredibly conducive for having that deeper soul review. Your Knight of Cups is a kind of guide card coming in here. Feels like he wants to take you on that journey to help you fall back in love with the things that matter in your life as you're prioritizing and you're seeing and feeling into what's pulling you forward. Now, you may well have a water sign that you're dealing with, Libra, a Cancer, Pisces or Scorpio energy. And if you are, or if this is being represented by somebody that's surfacing, or indeed a relationship you're in at the moment, you are carefully weighing things up right now with that 2 of Pentacles kind of opening up your reading. I think you need to see more before you can make a balanced decision that you feel is right for you, and that's understandable. I mean, Venus is going to be retrograde right through to the 25th before it moves direct, and it's still going to stay in Gemini right through to the 25th of July. So you are going to be working powerfully with themes of love, the giving and receiving, that energetic exchange, and really helping you to see how far you've come. Sometimes we can be tricked into situations that make us feel like we haven't made any progress at all, but actually there is something to celebrate here. You know, what we're being shown is that you've made incredible advances in terms of the way that you see the world, and you're integrating that higher learning and that philosophy, and it's helping in the key relationships in your life, even if that isn't apparent in the kind of deeper container of that retrograde energy right now. What I will say is that as you start to emerge from that, you are going to see the difference. You know, you're going to look around and you're going to start to see the mirror of the people who are still by your side. And let's face it, through this lockdown situation, you may well have had some changes in terms of the people that you have wanted to keep in touch with, the people who have continued to keep that open line of communication with you. So your soul family, the kind of people that you can rely on, that you want to now stand in solidarity with, who are going to be a part of your future, that may well have changed. And again, this time is about allowing those changes to take place. Gemini energy allows us to be incredibly adaptable to the situations, and you're going to be needing that as we move back into whatever life looks like to you on the other side, you know. And there is a need for an adjustment phase as we step back into kind of our old lives that are not really our old lives anymore. Yeah, so we have Mercury moving retrograde in Cancer, all right, water sign. So not only do we have all of this air energy, we also have this water kind of immutable energy with Neptune going retrograde in Pisces, Mars still in Pisces right now as well. So all the feels happening, and really the kind of discernment of what is going on within the self. You know, this is a time to return to self, Libra. And the High Priestess is indicating to you that all of that wisdom, all of that knowing, all of that discernment is absolutely going to come from within right now. There's no one person, there's no one external source of information that you will fully put your trust in. And that's okay, you know. You can take pieces of information from a variety of sources, but ultimately you need to be the one to decide. And that's going to make a difference as well if you think about it from the perspective of, you know, trying to make these key decisions, right? Because what we have is that people will all have an opinion around you. Yeah, people are all going to be wanting to express what they think is best for you. And what I see, Libra, is that you're very much of the opinion that I need to travel my own path now. You know, ninth house is that kind of seeking adventures, seeking for something more, looking toward the horizon, ruled by Sagittarius. And of course, that lunar eclipse on the 5th of June is in Sagittarius, right? That's in your 3rd house. So it's the way you think. It's the way you think. And, you know, there are some difficult oppositions with that lunar eclipse. Venus is squaring Mars. The moon is also square to Mars. So it can be a bit frustrating. So what we might find is that you're over with people trying to interfere. You're over with trying to be told what to do or what is best for you. You know, this is a month where you're really trying to figure out the journey of your life, how you view it and what that means to you, making sense of it. Yeah, so I see you standing quite strong. I think that High Priestess is also saying information is set to be revealed. Remember, eclipse season is all about the revelation of information, you know, bringing things up into the light and into the open. That can sometimes feel problematic or unsettling because we don't always feel prepared for it. The only thing to say is that right now, in the context of what's been going on, Libra, you're well versed with change at the moment. So it's almost like your soul is very alert to the nuances of how energy is shifting and moving at a much faster kind of pace right now. And in this Gemini season, it's inviting you to kind of go beyond, you know, see beyond the limitations. So when information does come to light that perhaps you feel like, oh, I was not expecting that, you are able to act more quickly and you're not going to feel so... Well, even if you're blindsided, I just don't think that your capacity to kind of like go to ground is taking quite so long. Do you know what I mean? It's just like your resilience, your ability to bounce back or to navigate or figure out a solution is coming through much more quickly than perhaps you would imagine, just because of the way that you've had to deal with so much of the kind of fated events of late. So 8 of Wands coming through, there is communication. Expect it from people from your past. Expect it from key relationships and those that have something to say, something that's on their mind or in their hearts, and perhaps that's you. You know, you need to reveal information to somebody. I do think that through the point of, this month ahead, Libra, there is going to be a time where you're just going to feel utterly compelled to say it how it is and to speak up and kind of lay something out. I think that when we look at the energy of the Two of Cups coming in and we're moving into Cancer season, that tremendous solar eclipse and solstice, needing to bring more balance and harmony in, this unity coming forward, and almost like you're understanding at a deeper level, Libra, about the unity consciousness. You know, it's the way that you're now working with these themes of duality through Gemini season, you know, recognizing the light and shadow within yourself and others, understanding what that means in your key relationships, and taking a very different perspective than perhaps you have before. When we talk about the work being work on the self, you can't really come this month from a place, Libra, that says, I need you to be this, I need you to say this, I need you to act in this way. It's not going to work for your soul growth, for you to be able to transcend and move forward into the next chapter. You know, career, the long-term planning, the strategy, the way we want to approach how we show up in the world, our reputation, where we want to see recognition for our efforts, all coming in that Cancer energy for you. You're going to get the most results. You're going to gain more when you understand that actually the most important relationship is between you and you. When you can then show up to other energies with that kind of mentality, with that kind of perspective, then you're going to have something really meaningful take place, right? So I see the possibility for reunion, for reconciliation, for sure, but I see you being very cautious, is what I want to say. I see you're being cautious, Libra. For some of you, I think you will have all of the information that you need to make an informed decision. Of course, you have free will, right? Maybe there's another layer to a particular relationship that you want to explore. For others, it will be a very clear, decisive decision of, no, this is no longer working for me. Now, that could be personally or professionally. Knight of Wands coming in could be a fire energy, Sagittarius, Leo or Aries, but certainly I see that this Knight is bringing in positive news for you as well. Again, linked into that kind of Sagittarius, like thinking to the future, you know, possibly overseas, something going on where you're either planning or connecting or reconnecting with somebody. I also have a real burst of creative energy. So I think what you're also looking at is a sense of resourcefulness coming in June for you, Libra, that's going to help you to navigate any tricky, difficult situations that might arise, and also to deal with any tricky, difficult people, right? I see you doing that by actually being quite contained, yeah? You know, if you're High Priestess energy coming through here, you're in that receptive mode. You're listening, you're absorbing the information, not the energy. Key difference here, right? You don't want to be taking on people's energy. You don't want to be communicating from inside of their energy field. What you want to be doing is weighing things up from a balanced perspective, but coming at it from a much elevated, higher position. What that's going to do is enable you to express yourself more thoughtfully, with more consideration as to what actually is the right thing for you and the other party, you know. And I think this is going to be particularly important for some of you with regards to decisions that you're making within the family and also within work and career as well. It's like you can be that voice of reason. I think there might be a tendency to want to be impulsive, but I'm going to kind of caution you against that. With all of this retrograde energy, it's a time for a deeper soul review. It's a time for you to be planning, strategizing, tweaking, looking at any flaws or any potential things that haven't worked, and being able to give yourself the opportunity to really work on that and make an adjustment. That's where you're going to really see the process and actually something that comes in that feels more aligned and more harmonious to what it is that you're looking for. If you have somebody that's stepping forward, a lot of night energy here, right? So people with the best intentions, but what they're bringing to the table still needs to be, I don't know, there's like a little bit more that has to develop from it, okay? So I think, yes, there's some well-meaning offers that are on the table, but have they done the work? You know, is there real substance to actually what they're bringing in? It might feel positive, you know, on the surface, but is this kind of castles in the air? Well, you're going to be able to get to the root of that with your high priestess energy here, okay? Nothing's going to be pulling the wool over your eyes this month, even though we have this kind of confusing, nebulous kind of energy of all these retrogrades, right? I still see you being able to cut through that. So Hierophant coming in might be a Taurus energy that you're dealing with, but also just talks to me about the way that you're absorbing information, the way that you want to learn. You're really hungry for change. You're hungry to change yourself, to integrate that, to make something more meaningful happen in your life, to be able to really impact on a relationship and change it in a way that is going to give you more joy, more contentment, more harmony. This is also talking about commitment. For me, you know, what the commitment should be about is to self, but certainly I think some of you might be finding that an offer of commitment is coming forth, all right? Somebody who is prepared finally to express their desire to want to be all in. Now, again, I just want to say, just pay attention to the fact that during retrograde season, people can be drawn into that idea of just saying and doing things because of the impulsive heat of the moment. What can I do to get you back? What can I do to make this work? What can I do to take this forward? So what you're going to have to do is read between the lines, you know, understand the energies at play, see where you're vibrating, and then really figure out if this is worth pursuing at this point. And also just like how much you're prepared to invest right now. You know, you can be open, and I do see you in this very open-minded attitude, right? I do. But I also think that you're not really, like, High Priestess isn't really kind of ready to reveal everything just yet. Not yet. So, Five of Cups energy. And I think, in all honesty, what we're dealing with here is that not only for you personally, but for people around you, there is this wave of emotional grief. It's in the collective, right? We're all navigating and trying to figure out how to exist, how to coexist with this wave of grief that's sort of taken over, and understand that actually there's so much to gain and to learn from it, and we don't have to vibrate 24/7 in that energy. We can still be compassionate about situations that are unfolding. We can still hold space and be tender and loving towards the self and others. And if you are somebody who has experienced that kind of loss, you know, you're needing to be incredibly nurturing to the self while at the same time still trying to look forward or trying to deal with the day-to-day practicalities, that can be a challenging place to be. And with all of that kind of backspin energy from the planets reminding us of what we're supposed to have learned by this point, reminding us of everything that we've been through and how we've changed and how we need to honor that, it can feel a bit overwhelming. It can feel a bit overwhelming. If we're not careful, we can move into an energy state that kind of pulls us down. Now, maybe this is also reflective of somebody else who's either let you down or you feel very disappointed about a situation. And if it is something that doesn't feel like it's really stepping up or stepping forward in the way that you'd expected or hoped, again, there's this invitation for you to go back to the energy of that 9th house, right? Where we're looking at your purpose, we're looking at what drives you, like your view of the journey that you're on. What is your soul contract about? Understanding that this is the world stage. All of these people are players within it. You know, they're all here to teach you something. All of these experiences are meaningful because they're helping you to evolve on some level. So take the energy of that. Take the energy of that loss, of that disappointment, of that grief, of that sadness, of whatever it is that feels heavy, and allow it to show you how you have become more, how you can coexist with it, how you can use it to heal parts of you, how you can let some of the stories go that are very intrinsically wrapped up in that energy and move into something that feels lighter, that's more celebratory for you. Perhaps moving into the places and to be around the people that are vibrating on a slightly different, more positive energy. You know, that ninth house is incredibly positive, optimistic, bright view of the future. It's full of hope, you know, and that's where you want to be looking, because these are the plans that you're making for your life moving forward, Libra. Yeah. So let's take a look at your oracle card. Okay, card of balance coming in, of course, perfectly represented for your energy. But I think this is what it's about, you know, through the month of June as we navigate all of this astrological activity. Now, at the end of the month, we've got Jupiter conjunct Pluto. It's the second of 3. Back to the 4th of April, what was going on around that time. Then we have the 3rd coming in on the 12th of November. So you're looking at how to navigate this, you know, planet of expansion, you know, Pluto, that planet of the underworld, our shadow self, you know, dealing with issues of power and control, the expansion, the contraction, and, you know, how this is changing you and what it means in your life. And so this deeper soul calling that's stepping up and showing you, it's showing you where you're out of balance in mind, body, soul. You'll get the information this month. You've got High Priestess. That information is coming to you, Libra. You don't have to go anywhere to find it. You'll receive fragments of it through conversations, through your own guides, through, you know, those flashes of knowing. It's going to litter your path, left, right, and centre. So it's up to you to decide and discern, like, how you then implement that into the way that you're existing, into the relationships in your life, into the way that you're feeling emotionally. It's all about trying to find that sense of balance within. And I see this coming back in terms of, you know, for those of you that are focused in around your security, right? Again, we have more harmony coming in, something to celebrate. Good news is definitely coming in, connected to work or career. And, you know, for some of you, it might feel a little bit unexpected. If there are some sharp U-turns or complete changes that are either presented to you or that you feel within yourself, yeah, remember that we're also kind of working with a divine timing. Not everything might need to kind of take place straight away, because I've got this almost, you know, that like when all of a sudden you realize something and then you just have this, I need to act on it now. So again, that sort of impulsive energy. And because I think there's somebody going to step forward, or you're definitely dealing with someone right now, Libra, who is got that, you know, has that very aggressive, very impulsive, very now energy. I think it kind of has got a tendency to sort of almost whip you up into a frenzy. And you're being invited with Sun in Virgo to be more considered, more grounded, more earthly, to understand that things take time to come into their full harvest. You know, you reap what you sow. But High Priestess for me and this Virgo energy is there's a quieter, more kind of muted feel to you taking that U-turn or taking that epiphany and actually really understanding, okay, what am I going to do with this now? And not being afraid to take a bit longer before you come to that conclusion or before you decide to implement anything in your life, okay? But new endeavours coming through, particularly from a work perspective, something looking really favourable. You're going to have to work at it. There may well be a collaborative effort here, but it feels very healing for you. So for those of you looking for a change of career or looking to add something into your existing career path, this looks really good. And particularly by the time we come into that Virgo season, you're going to start to see the efforts of that really being rewarded, okay? Lots of bright, radiant energy coming through for you. I think where you are going to have to be mindful is really just about this not jumping into other people's energy too much and almost taking it on as your own view of the world. And if you're not careful, if you're absorbing too much information, you know, online, or if you're spending too much time around a certain person that has a very rigid, you know, that kind of Hierophant, very rigid sort of indoctrined view of what is happening and why, or, you know, has this conspiracy or this, you know, perspective, I think that could make you feel really unsettled within yourself. So use that High Priestess to kind of come back to your own spiritual practice. That's what's really going to help in this instance. What I have in terms of your own soul journey this month is this really beautiful merging between truths that you understand in a more physical kind of like human earthly level, and kind of linking that to this deeper sense of knowing, you know, and there's like a beautiful synergy that I see starting to come in and starting to take place. And with that, there's almost this embarking on a new way of like how you want to show up, how you want to connect, how you want to communicate and express yourself. So I think people are going to be curious and interested in terms of what you're presenting and how you're projecting. Yeah. Now, of course, this is a general reading. It might not be reflective of everything that you're going to be experiencing right through June, and also time is linear. So make sure you check out your sun and rising sign as well, Libra. And if this is things that you've already experienced, then you're already on that journey and there's that movement forward. But there's a lot of beautiful, positive, radiant energy coming in here. I just think that you need to be keeping that sense of truth and balance in your life, understanding the duality of what is happening, understanding that people, in some regards, always have an agenda, Libra. Everyone has a personal agenda, and you just need to be at peace with knowing that whatever they come to the table with, right? Family, children, business, you know, friendship, romantic, doesn't matter. Everyone has their own agenda, as do you. And once we come into a place of acceptance about that and understanding where people are coming from with their experience and how it has shaped their world, it can help you to make more informed decisions about whether you want to move forward or how you respond, how you absorb things. So, you know, there's a really beautiful moment of enlightenment that can come forward in this month, okay? More security coming in for you, because I think you're coming back home to the self. If you can take that energy, then you've got something to really work and build on. And that Sun in Virgo is going to help keep you focused and diligent and disciplined where you need to. Okay, I hope this has given you some insight for this month ahead, Libra. If you would like to join me for the extended reading, I'm going to go ahead and pull us some more cards now. This is another 20 minutes or so that we go into a little bit more depth with the cards that we've pulled. And you can find the link for that in the description box underneath the video, or head over to my website, romywyser.com, and make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already to the channel. I really appreciate you tuning in as well. So let's take a look. What I'm going to ask you to do is just think about a question right now, Libra, that perhaps has not come up in the main general spread for you. And I'll pull a couple of cards and we'll look specifically at that in the next read. So just focus on that now for me. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just clarify these main cards right now. So let's start with the Two of Pentacles. Okay, we have Three of Swords and Three of Wands. Also got the Page of Pentacles coming in. Could be an earth sign that's involved here. Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. Okay, let's look at this Knight of Cups. Right, we have a Scorpio, Death card. We also have Queen of Pentacles again. A little bit of an emphasis around work stuff going on here. So some of you may be finding a change in career, or at the moment you're having to think about taking on more than one job even perhaps, but we'll take a look at that. Okay, we've got the Moon with the Three of Cups. Six of Wands here. Could be a Pisces energy as well. An Aquarius here with the Star energy. Okay, High Priestess bringing in that Page of Swords, so air energy, but for me, this is all about the way that you're going to communicate this month. That's going to make all the difference. How people are communicating or choosing to communicate with you and how you respond. Page of Wands. Lots of messages coming. Lots of messages from Spirit, but lots of messages coming from people that you perhaps did not expect to hear from. People from the past, of course. Six of Cups coming in here. Is it welcome? Well, there's some truth coming forth. Some clarity on something. Knight of Cups, Ace of Cups. Definitely someone with strong intentions to want to come together to form a harmonious connection with you, whether it be personally or professionally. Two Cups bringing in the Empress. There's a really strong kind of fertility aspect in this reading as well. So fertility can come through in the sense of new ideas, wanting to give birth to something new in your life, not just from a children perspective. So we have Two of Wands coming through here. Emperor. Hierophant bringing through Tower energy here. Ten of Cups. One more there. Okay. So it's Five of Cups connected into the King of Pentacles. So it could be an earth sign that you're dealing with, or it may well be something to do with your security and how it's been impacted or affected that, you know, you're dealing with here. Beautiful turning point though, if you're ready to invite it in and not hold yourself back from it. Two of Swords is also linked to your sign, Libra. Okay, let's just pull a couple more for the Oracle cards. So we have the Chariot, more balance between heart and mind going on here. And Two of Cups again with the Sun in Virgo. Okay. If you'd like to join me for the extended Libra, we'll continue this narrative and draw out some additional messages for you, as well as looking at your specific question. Otherwise, I wish you bright blessings for this month of June. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel. Really appreciate you. Take good care. Bye for now.